must be, goodwill from ourselves. I'll give an example with the issue of environment and the climate change stuff, because I have worked in that space for quite some time. So this is the scenario. I want to paint a scenario so that everybody can judge from this. So a company comes from the West, comes and recruits farmers or beneficiaries from our country. We use their products, but in return, these guys take the credits and sells them for millions. If you look at what Olelenku did in his county, he stepped up for the community and said, you guys are not going to subscribe our community land to your program and not have a benefit sharing model with our community. Now that is protecting our communities from exploitation from the West, which is something that I have experienced for so long, and I have been a witness to that. I would mention, without really going to details, that I am the only validation and verification staff in Kenya, and probably in Africa, auditing carbon projects. This skill is not known by my people. Of course, I'm offering to train some few people so that they can get in the space, because it's a skill that I accidentally bumped into. How do I help my people learn and maybe register an entity here and become a validation and verification body? Because the verification body that I work for gets all the proceeds and takes it back to the West. Yet we have skills here. We have children here, the Gen Zs and the upcoming Gen Alphas, and of course some millennials and some Gen X, category of Gen X, who can do these jobs and contribute to the growth of our economy. How do we help our local people or our fellow Kenyans? Are we mean with our knowledge? Are we mean with our skills? How do we then protect our people from the West if we cannot share that knowledge? So there must be change. Yeah.
What has stopped you from setting up the institution you're talking about? You have the knowledge. What has stopped you from setting up that institution?
Okay, fine. I have not, I actually am recruiting. I have about like 10. I posted something on TikTok. I contributed to a forum where there was some misinformation. So I was telling them the truth. They were talking about farmers are being recruited and they are giving away their title deed. So I wanted to debunk that statement and give them the proper knowledge. And so people followed me and asked me to teach them. And of course, I am willing to get into a forum where I can enlighten my people on what is happening in this space. Because if you hear the president, and especially on X, the last X that he hosted, he participated with the Gen Zs, he said that he has signed the carbon law, but the communities do not know what carbon credits are. They do not understand the benefits that are going to come with that law and how maybe the incomes can be plowed back to the economy. So the forum will be there. And of course, I have a few people that I can train. I can give the skills and also connect them to some employers, because there is a scarcity of that skill. So with time, of course, and given the platforms to speak about this subject, I am willing to speak about it and enlighten my people, because it's a subject that I have been in that industry for 14 years. And I'm
Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah.
So now what I need us to do, we need to stop helping people. So mute your mic for a second. We need to get out of this mentality of helping people, because once you do that, you've gotten the God complex. where you think now you're God, you're here to help people. So you develop a very different kind of nature where everybody's a victim and you're there to help. So get out of that helping people. Do business. I want somebody who is going to do business with me. All right? Hold up, Virginia. Just keep it muted, yeah. So we get out of all these helping, because this helping is what NGOs do, and they come and they rape us. And they have raped us for many years by telling us that they're helping us, and it doesn't get better. You who's in that industry, you know, Kibera has never stopped growing. All the slums in Kenya, they keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Why? Because this helping does not work. So we need to live in the reality where you do business for yourself, and then now just make sure you're a good businesswoman. Your character should be seen in how you run your business. So don't tell people you're helping them. Tell them there's an opportunity to make money. In fact, you should also even be charging for the knowledge. Stop helping. You should be sitting down and tell them, hey, listen, I have such knowledge. It's so important and it's going to make you so much money. If you pay me 2,000 bob for an hour, I'll teach you, but it's not free. Now, take the chance, yes or no. Something like that. If you're conning them, you're conning them. I mean, the schools do that. The schools tell you that we have so much good knowledge here. You come here and pay us 300,000 a year. We'll give you knowledge that will make you valuable in life. Don't give out your knowledge for free. Don't help anyone. Are we together?
Yes, sir. We are together. Thank you for that.
And you see, Virginia, that's where I was going. I wanted to tell you, when someone goes to a desolate place and sees children who are not getting the proper education, there are two kinds of people. There's one who come and say, I'm going to set up a school here, charge, because when you charge something, the people who enroll see the value. There's a value proposition when something is charged. So you should come and set up that training institution, charge people, because if it's free, then you'll get every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You need people to commit to it, and they commit to it by they are willing to pay a price for it. Okay? Then you will create change that will outlive you. Are you getting? You will leave an institution that you have transferred your brains to that institution. So even when you are gone, your spirit will live on. Your way of thinking will live on. So that's what, if I was you, that's what I'd be, the person who sets up the institution physically.
Yes, understood. I will do as guided. Yes, thank you for even supporting my thoughts, because I don't want to die with this knowledge, because of what use is it going to be, and yet...
Monetize it.
Correct.
All right, thank you, Virginia. There's somebody here I always like to listen to. Whenever he comes running, I accept his mic in seconds. You know yourself, the MVP of this space, Dr. Professor Brian Ingudi Juma. Karibu sana.
Asante sana kwa kunibandikia cheo. Thank you so much.
Karibu, bro.
You know, whenever, as per the way I've been brought up, whenever you hear Kacheo being placed on you, you know some shafting is coming, but it is what it is. I'd like to strengthen your example about women in leadership. This was actually a podcast about the US military. There's actually a lady there who's a general. She's a general. But guess what? She doesn't do general duties. She does radio operating. Why? When she was handling something in Afghanistan, soldiers used to die daily. Why? Because the general is in charge of decision making. Her decisions were so flawed that people lost their lives. They said, okay, atutati mambo mengi, we'll remove you, we'll make you retain your post and privileges as a general, but we'll just be operating the radio. So this is just to further strengthen the point that you put forward. Concerning men failing, yes, I will not say it's a failure. I say we have fallen back in so many ways, because if you talk of failure, look at our transport industry, public transport industry, more so the commuter industry, long distance industry. These are men pushing those vehicles. You do not want them to fail. There are so many things, energy industry, what men are active. They are not failing. It's only that we have fallen way back beneath our capacity, beneath our potential. But in terms of some of these jobs that keep the country alive, I would beg to differ with the lady that says that men are failure. Because assuming you have a car, it is likely that men who service that car, you do not want those men to fail. If you don't have a car, it is a man who drives you around in a matatu or in a Uber. You do not want that man to fail. They have been performing. Only that we've been hitting way, way below our potential in terms of the business of CSI, creating, solving, and improving. That is what has been lacking for quite a while. And when you fail to create, solve, and improve, someone will come and do it for you, but with their own interests. That is why when Kibe talked of the issue of slums, this is what is happening. In the developed world, that system also exists in Kenya, the corporate sector. They used to call something called financial votes. When a department is given some money to run for budget for the year, mwaka ukiisha, and you have some chunk of money remaining, you are in trouble. Because if you return the money, they'll tell you, hey, look, we tumenyima another department money to give you alafu unarudisha. You've been shit. So what happens is this: they push those, I'm talking about in the developed world, they push that money, they put it under CSI, then CSR, corporate social responsibility. So there are these motherfuckers who go around the corporate network in America, up at a collect 1 million, up at 500,000, 2 million, 30,000, 100, collects that money. Then they come to Africa in this name of NGOs and whatnot, set up foundation ya kuchimba kisima, another foundation ya kufanya nini, supplying toilet tissue, sanitary pads, spoons, and plastic cups. Then the rest of the money finds its way into supplying lifestyle. That's why unapata the so-called expatriate community. They are stuck here with that money, enjoying life. They're not doing anything. So that failure of the CSI by specifically the Kenyan black man has given leeway for this weird interest for people to come in. But if somebody said, let's say, Islam like Muduro or Kibera and whatnot, people said, okay, let's invest in the sewage system so that we use it to make it or to create a sewage to gas system so that methane, cooking gas, comes out of that shit. Kibera automatically upgrade. It's not happening because what we are doing, we are seeing we do food program to supply mandondo and some weird fucking shit. So my take is this: as a man, hata ukiangalia kwa Biblia, the animals that we call lion, leopard, it is Adam who named them. So we have the creativity. So as long as we're not doing the creating, solving, and improving, we are leaving a blank space. And that blank space comes in, it is filled up with the people who mean no well for us. The mzungu comes here, unamkaribisha na sherehe na nderemo, but whatever they do, it leans towards him. Look at in farming. Now we are in a situation whereby, yani ukipanda mahindi, ukivuna, you cannot replant that stuff. You have to go back to these motherfuckers and buy more seeds. And before we had our own system, which we could improve on our own. Why? Create, solve, improve, fail then, so it got filled up by people who are handling their own interest. So here we are as a nation, we are actually pandering to other people's wishes to a point where some of us are even doubting the sovereignty of the Kenyan system. So it all goes back to create, solve, improve. And when you go back to the general hardcore, hard-hitting message, sana sana for wanaume, dick control, inarudi tu kwa men who like fucking. You know, when you like fucking so much, you can't think of anything. And that is my closing statement. Asanteni sana.
Look, Igundi, let me ask a question I had asked when Hannah was talking.
Yes,
one of the problems I feel we have, and you're allowed to correct me, is when a woman encounters a man, like a person who's a decision maker, someone with a vision, someone who stands their ground. Society labels that man with all negative names. He's a misogynist, he's a dictator, there's a word I had used, I'm forgetting the word, but it's very common, But just because this man is outside what most men are. So you see, if we re-engineer the mind of a man, or people not to think the way they're supposed to be as men, you will also need to re-engineer women who are trained to be almost like men. You see, that's the reason. You will have two strong forces and procreation will stop.
Well, if I'm to get it right, you're saying that a woman will tend to have a negative reaction towards a man who's more firm in his decision making, correct?
Exactly.
That is
like
called,
they can't stand them.
That is called punistics inertia. The need for things to remain the same. We have been in a situation of punistics, and the punistics wants to remain in the punistics. You keep being, after all, who told you are here to be liked? No, that's another problem we have here. You want to be liked. Hey, Ngudi is a nice guy.
No, you're not getting me, Gundi.
Yes.
My question is this. I think from 1992, after the Beijing thing, women came with this thing back to Kenya and Africa. And that's where the disconnect began. You know, there was this thing that women are equal to men. And women propagated it for the longest time, okay? So today, if you bring that I think was a part of feminism. So now a feminist woman meets a real man, okay? Do you know the two can never agree on anything? True or not true, Gundi?
Of course, they cannot agree on anything. And it is not a must that they agree. It is as long as you are a firm-minded masculine mind, is either they agree or they ship out.
Good. Now, most of them, what they are doing once they encounter men who are who stand their ground, not because they are just men, but stand on the right things, most women opt to ship out. Okay?
Yep.
Now,
Perfect.
when people... Good. Now, when that shipping out occurs over and over and over, Igundi, what happens is we begin to see a slowdown in population growth, which is exactly what is happening. I use a very specific country, in France, okay? And in most of Europe, the birth rate starts going down because there are two big opposing forces. And that's why I was saying, as you teach men to be, needs to be a very calculated strategy in teaching women to go back to the original settings of a woman. Because we will achieve one thing, but now procreation will stop.
So wait, Anthony. Are you saying that a woman will walk away from a strong man because he is misogynistic?
Actually, in the way things are right now, how women have been programmed, and I've started by saying from 1992. If the moment they encounter...
Don't just answer the question the way I've asked you. Don't go into history. Are you saying that in 2024, a woman is going to walk away from a strong man because he's too strong?
A majority will. Yeah, a majority will.
Where are these men? Where are these men?
Did you just ask me that? No.
What are you talking about?
Ask me that.
Yeah, where are these men? Where the women are walking away from because they're too strong? Like which one? Because we're bado kona wife yako, sindio? Ali bado kona wife yake. So what are you saying?
Doesn't make any sense.
You see, Kibe, that's what exactly I'm saying. You know, nowadays to find a full home, a complete home, father, mother, and children, we are in the minority. So at some point, Kibe, a man will have 2 children with one woman. Wait a minute, that woman will walk away. Maybe these people would have had 4 kids.
So are you saying you saying this is your situation right now? This is currently happening with you?
No, because I'm still with the woman I've
so you're not strong enough. So she does not consider you strong enough for her to walk away from you.
Okay. No, you're not getting me, Kibe. I'm saying...
Does your wife consider you misogynistic?
Does my wife
consider you misogynistic?
Consider me misogynistic? No, but in most sittings we've sat, and with most sittings we've sat with, mostly when I have friends who are single come, they always tell me, Tony, you are a chauvinist. And I'm like, no. Just because I have a position doesn't make me.
Why are you saying no?
Like when you guys are sitting down having tea and cookies.
No, Kibe. You know, when people meet,
that's where they listen to so much of you that they even they come to the conclusion that Tony is a misogynist.
No, Kibe, you're not. I want you to look at what I'm saying, Kibe.
Up a long time ago.
No, Kibe. Use Europe as an example. Kibe, let me tell you, Kibe, just a minute, Dinguti. You can grow a society of strong men, but when procreation stops, Kibe, all the gains we'll have done on the boy child, on making this boy a now fully functional man, we lose in the long term.
Let's stick with what you said. Forget about procreation. You said that women nowadays are walking away from strong men. So they're calling these men misogynistic. And it would have made sense. It would have made sense if the birth rate would also be in your favor. But most of these strong men are the ones who are siring kids in the society. You know that, right?
Elon Musk has been divorced, I don't know how many times, and he has many kids.
Because he's a strong man. He has 10 kids. You see, but he can't find a woman who can stand up to that strong man.
But yours can. Yours can stand you. And you call yourself a strong man. How?
No, Kibe, because now you're losing what I want to...
No, I mean, that's what you said. Because you just said these women cannot stand him because Elon Musk is a strong man. You are not a strong man because your woman can stand you. Isn't that what I've been saying here this whole time?
No, you are interpreting it.
I have been preaching that as long as you even know your wife's friends.
Exactly.
You know your wife. You know your wife's
me
friends.
And you have different, Kibe. Me and you have different school of thoughts, but our end game is the same.
No, you just said it. You don't know what a strong man is because you're not one. You have admitted that strong men cannot be in. Hold up. I'll give it back to you. You have admitted. Just mute. You have admitted here very openly that strong men cannot be in relationships with women. Now, I tend to agree with you there. It makes a lot of sense. A strong man cannot be with a woman because somehow that strength is too much for that woman. But the strong men are the ones who are having the best possible life ever because they're the ones who are leading this world. Isn't it? So we agree that strong men are few and the women have been taught to resist the strong men. So this is your premise. This is your argument. So if you see a man in a relationship, then there's no way he can be strong.
You want me to come in?
I just made your statement, right, for you. I just put it in a nice...
So now, Kibe, the only way a strong man will raise another strong man is if that strong man is in the presence of the child he has sired. Okay? Another reason you see all these strong men...
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay, just let me finish because I didn't interrupt you.
No, but you're making statements. You're making statements that don't make any sense. Make a statement based on you.
If I quantify doesn't make sense to you, then now you can interject.
Okay.
Now, Elon Musk has married 7 women, I think, but all the women left him, but he kept the kids. Why? Because he believes in what he is as a man. Okay. Same thing as Donald Trump. Now, if we go by what you're saying, Kibe, then I will say, these strong men, after procreation and after siring children, they should equally not allow their offsprings to be away from them. Okay? You can tell the woman, you don't agree with me? Good, go, but leave the kids with me. Because I want these kids to be as great as I am. And that is what Elon is doing. That is what Trump is doing. All these strong men, that is what Vladimir Putin did. His wife left, but the kids were left with Putin. Trump, wives left, leave me with the kids. And that's why those kids are great. But if we strong men sire kids...
Why are you saying we and you're not a strong man? The strong man means first thing you must do.
I'm a strong man to myself.
No, but you cannot be.
I don't need you to
be a strong man.
I cannot myself, Kibe.
No, you cannot be a strong man.
Either me and you can debate that. No, you can debate that. And that's why me and you can't agree. Because you're strong and I'm equally strong.
Hold up. You cannot be a strong man and be in a relationship like the one that you're in. We've already agreed on that. At least the 200 people who are here.
You are saying that.
You're the one who give us the. You're the one who give us the topic. So you gave us the topic and we are running with it. You said that a strong man is resisted by women. So we are good. So we can see how many women have resisted Elon Musk. He has 12 children, in case you're wondering. 12, right?
Yeah, 12.
Strong men have many kids. Strong men they don't even need to know how many kids they have. Strong men have many kids. So if you don't have many kids with many women, you cannot be strong. What you are is just a domesticated dildo.
You know, Kibe used an example that favors you. Now, let me use an example that favors me. Dale Carnegie was a strong man. Okay? Dale Carnegie was fucking strong.
Let's talk about people we
yes.
know. We don't know anything. We don't know anything about Dale Carnegie. We have to Google him.
Can I teach you about Dale?
No.
Take this out.
No, let's talk about people we know.
No.
So in this age, talk about people we know. Don't talk about Dale Carnegie. Yes.
Okay. Let me talk about.
Talk about Calligraph Jones or Bill Gates or George Bush. People we know. Don't take us back into the past, my guy.
Let me talk about George Bush.
Yes.
Let me talk about George Bush.
Mm-hmm.
George Bush was a strong man.
How do you say?
Strong family, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do I say that George Bush is a strong man?
Yes. How do you say that?
He had one, Barbara. Okay. No, because George Bush, there's a lineage. His family is one of the strongest families in the U.S.
I mean,
the Bushes are one of the strongest.
They're the ones who started the decline
in the world.
They're the ones who started the decline of the U.S. economy. So when you say strong, I don't understand. What do you mean strong? The Bushes.
Because it favored them. That decline favored them.
It cannot be strong. It cannot be strong. It cannot be strong if it's only for you. Strong has to be a strength that is, you can lend that strength to others. So when you say it's only for them, it doesn't make sense.
Show me how Musk is lending his strength to others.
Are you stupid? Are you stupid? We are using Starlink right now.
No,
we're using Starlink in Africa.
So we are making him money.
No,
we are making him money.
Let me mute you because you're just being nonsensical now. And it's even good I didn't give you co-host today. Because now you're being nonsensical. We are benefiting from Trump, we're benefiting from Elon Musk, we're benefiting from all the strong men in this world. That's why when we have a weak president, we don't benefit. So weakness begets weakness. Strength begets strength. So if your premise is that a woman cannot be with a strong man, the world has destroyed that, then I'll tell you, I'll now take you one further. Because a woman and a man don't need to be together. The people who need to be together are people who've compromised each other's lives. And the compromise is normally more on the man than the woman. So the man is one who has to compromise to get into that situation. So like a situation like the one you're in, you're the one who has had to compromise more than your wife. How she's coming to live a good life. You are compromising. You're the one who's introducing her to your life. How she's come to live a good life. Me, if you give me a good life, I'm going to come in there and sit. And you pay my rent. Every now and then you go down on me. I'm like, Allah, this is the life. And all you need is just a few stupid, ugly kids. I'll give you whatever you want. That's not a compromise. You, on the other hand, are compromising everything to give this person. So even with Elon Musk, with George Bush and the rest, yeah, you ask yourself, what level of compromise has he made in this world for him to be considered strong? What is he offering to the world? People call themselves strong. What are you offering to the world? Because your strength cannot be yours alone. What are you offering to the world? Once the strength goes beyond you, then that is real strength. But if your strength is only for you, then you cannot be a serious human being anywhere. We will never know about you. You'll never. So Elon Musk, even with 12 kids, the amount of work he's done, we overlook his wives and all the issues they had in those relationships because that's very personal. But you guys are making your relationships like your strength. And then I ask you, okay, so what have you done? Show me what you've done. What have we done in Africa that all we do is discuss relationships? We have done nothing. There's no new invention that has ever come from Africa. There's nothing the world is using right now that we can say we are strong men. We are nothing. That's why these companies are coming from outside. They come and take us over. That's why we can have bad leadership. How can men have bad leadership? You think about that for a second. How can men have bad leadership? Men by now should have taken out everybody who is in their way because that's what men do. But we've accepted this mediocrity. because we keep telling ourselves we are strong, but there's no evidence of that strength. So for us, it's just lip service. We just keep talking about strength and keep talking about relationships. But reality on the ground, we are nothing. So we should build ourselves to that point where we can say we are strong. Our economy is strong. Our people are strong. The other day, we sent people to the Olympics. Did we see strength there? When you look at the way we do our things, do you see strength there? With the way we build our roads, our buildings, do you see strength there? By now, we should have already lynched the people who give out, what are they called? Those building permits. We should have lynched a couple of people. We should have lynched a couple of engineers. That's what strength is. Strength is being able to take care of the problems of the society all the time. We don't have that strength. Let's stop talking about it like we are strong. We are not. Let's accept that we are puny little motherfuckers who lost our way and we lost our masculinity. And it's time to get it back, because as long as you think you are not. So now we lie to each other and we're trying to create this society that does not exist. It only lives in our imagination. Be strong on the ground. Then we can talk. Be strong on the ground means saying no to a lot of this bullshit. If today, Anthony, you were to start saying no to your wife, if she says something that you don't like and you say no, you will not be married for very long. Do you know that? You will not be married for very long. She tells you, oh, tomorrow I want us to go to church. You tell her, no, I don't feel like it. After some time, either she's going to find you as the most attractive man in the world, or she's going to bring you the cancer. Okay, hold up. Let's, Dr. Mjulus, say something. I see you came rushing.
That's so powerful, bro. That's so powerful. Though I know of a friend of mine.
Another friend.
I know of a friend of mine who is actually married and is living with his wife. And he once told me at some point that, bro, I don't have so much money, but this woman loves me so much. This woman loves me so much. And I asked him in a quick rejoinder, why is this woman loving you so much despite, being poor? But he told me that, he enjoys everything I have below the belt. That's what keeps her. And I was like, oh, so this is also part of strength. Like if you're strong below the belt, it means you're strong. That's my point, Kibe. There are people who measure strength in that dimension. You don't have money, but you can satisfy a woman below the belt. That is strength. Is it strength?
I had to point out that our friend here, Anthony, tactically changed the train of thought briefly to sort of vindicate himself, because the message you were sending earlier about women running away from you and population, whatnot. So what I was getting is that you should sort of tone down on being strong so that your wife does not leave you. That looks weak to me. That looks weak. That looks very, very weak. Strength means you pushing on when people around look. I normally say this, and I hear it from a certain podcast. An idea is normally madness until it comes to fruition. The Wright brothers, the one who invented the aeroplane, these guys were quoted by scholars as fools, wajinga. But it is of their strength to push on. Now we can fly from Mombasa to Nairobi in less than 1 hour. So when Anthony tells me that, oh, if you are strong, your wife will leave you, and we are talking as though it's a crisis. Since when did a woman leaving you become a crisis? These are the crises we should be talking of. How come we are now in 2024? Not a single system tunasema imeundwa Kenya. Now that is a crisis. 2024, not a single drug or world-class fertilizer or food multiplying technology imetoka Kenya. Whenever I see something in my timeline invented, imetoka kwingine. Now that is a crisis. But you have to tell me, oh, the population is going down, oh, because the women are not liking. Yani paka say you are concerned about a woman not liking you. But anyway, you have feminine energy around you, so it's your show. You run it as you wish.
Anthony, I want to tell you one thing. Emotions, pleasure, feelings, they are not strength. Those are weakness. That's why women have them. That's why we were born secondly after you. We were built, we were actually created secondly after you. You are supposed to push. Pain has to go directly so that you can be strength. If you cannot endure pain, if you cannot endure criticism, if you cannot endure difficult life, then that is not strength. You are not strong. So waiting for approval from a woman, that is not strength. Well, be a man. Man hataki kujua, man hataki fanya chenye unafanya. Bora unajua familia yako and you're taking care of your family. That's it. So that's why I'm angry with most men in Kenya, because we are 52 million people in Kenya. 52. 1 million is, let's say even 1 million is the elite of the elitists. Barabara kila mahali, apart from Nairobi, Mombasa is the only thing that works. I am even sad right now because when you go to Twitter, you find the president has launched things which he has already relaunched. And it comes to a point where mtu anatoka Nairobi, anaenda kuonesha watu wenye wanaishi huko. You know, guys, this place was relaunched. After being relaunched, your money is being stolen. Hiyo ndio time yenye wanaume wanafikiria wanasema, ni ukweli. What are those men in those areas doing? You cannot tell me they are just sleeping, waking up in the morning, go to work, then come back. That is not the work of a man. There has to be a societal something you men have. Nyumba 10 initiative yenye mnakaaga hivi chini mnasema yenyewe, by the way, kuna problem na pale nimeona wanamwaga takataka. What do you think, guys, we can do to make sure that problem does not come in our doors? That is a man who is thinking differently, built differently. Because a man knows his environment. He knows his environment inside the house and outside the house. Anachunga mahali watoto wake wanaishi, anachunga mahali watoto wake wanakula, anachunga mahali watoto wake wanacheza, because akona vision inajenga mtoto. Angalia watu wenye wako Kibira, hiyo area yote ya Kibira, kuna wanaume wako huko. Now what do they do? Party. It's all about party. ODM, damu. Ni kama wanaletea chakula. Then nyumba ikichomeka, that's the time wanakuja. Oh, the national county. What fucking national county? What are you doing, you yourself as a man in that area? Usiniambie hizo flying flying toilets. It's for very sad. Just let me go there.
Stephen, go ahead. Is it Stephen or Stephen? How do you pronounce it?
Maze, hiyo jina hata uwasitambui kwanza. Nite tu Ogechi, bro.
Aya, so nikuita gani? Si uitoe basi.
Hiyo jina nimeiseti tu kwa sababu is official government names, but honestly hata miss Joangi kuisema, bro. Labda Stevo, Stephen, wacha tu. Cheki.
So let's go with Oburu ama tukitaje.
Oburu, Ogechi, that's fine.
Best ya prezo.
Do you, bro? So I've had a lot again, and let me stand in this podium and say, I proudly come from Kibera. all these shenanigans people say about flying toilets, ni uongo. All these things people say about Kibera is such an insecure place, ni uongo. All these things that people say, people in Kibera are so rowdy, people in Kibera are so party affiliated, bro, ni uongo. Now, let me give you the positive side of Kibera. We have biggest, largest NGOs in this country, in Kibera. What are they doing? They are pushing an agenda. Which agenda are they pushing? Kibra is a business entity for the government. And there is no way the Kibra slum is going to be eliminated by development. Because once that happens, then the government is not going to reap from what the NGOs are putting in Kibera. Well, I live in our own compound, standalone, bro. You can park 5 vehicles in my parking lot. You know, I have access to water, access to electricity, internet. Literally, my boys come and chill in my place. You know, we have a barbecue, we have a backyard. All this is in Kibra. But before you access an amenity like this, you have to see the face that you will actually see when you're passing through the Southern Bypass, or maybe you're passing through the link road of Yaya and Langata. That is the actual image that the media has portrayed about Kibra. There are so many beautiful stories that have come from Kibra. Look at Ken Okoth, a perfect example of an MP who utilized the CDF proper. Raila is being castigated for being a non-performer in Kibra simply because he was an MP during the time that the CDF was not being given to MPs by then. Kibra has best schools, bro. Look at the Woodley Stadium. It's being built in Kibra. Where was Moi living? In Kibra. The largest NGO that was a threat to President Ruto's, quote unquote, reject the finance bill, Shofco. Shofco is one of the largest NGOs we have around. And actually, as we speak right now, there are so many beautifully done roads in the slums of Kibera, properly lit. You will literally walk around and nobody will mug you nothing. The DCIs and the cops don't even fire a single bullet in the name of chasing a criminal. Nobody will, people here live with the special community purpose and, solitude. Example, Wanubi, Wajaluo, Wakisi, Waluya, all these villages, and they've elected their members of county assembly who are actually from their sub-tribes. So there is a lot that can be emulated from Kibra. We have doctors, we have, professors who come from this area, and a lot. Personally, investment opportunities in Kibra have like 100% return on investment if you're putting up any business, be it rental, be it, wholesale, all this. So I kind of feel some type of way when guys are tainting the Kibra perspective, but again, I can't blame them because we are all fed by the media that will actually do one or two to get some publicity. So in regards to the strength of a woman and strength of a man, you can actually come and say, look at the National Basketball Association. Do you see women NBA going to compete with men NBA? No. And in every sport, even powerlifting, bodybuilding, no woman has been on stage flexing muscles with Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example, or Ronnie Coleman for that matter. So when we come down and say that we are going to get business deals, because as a woman, when you walk into that business boardroom, how you're received by men is quite the opposite on how these men will receive their fellow men. I find it stereotyping because the people who are accepting the presence of a woman in this boardroom are the same people who are pushing the agenda that is supposed to give a woman all benefits and a man feeling like a lesser man. Look at the boy child. Where is the boy child? It took the reins of Ms. Gashagua, the vice president's wife or the deputy president's wife to intervene and say the boy child has been neglected. So how do you neglect a boy child? And then when this boy grows into a man, you again flip the channel and say these men are properly or they are improperly raised. the men of today are like this and like that. But in reality, when you check, the real situation on the ground is the boy has not been empowered. This boy, you'll see some boys fighting, and you're like, wacha upuzi bana, siwe pia umshike, we ni mwanaume, you know? Boys are literally being groomed by, the nature that he is a man. To do what? To come out strong and defend the masculinity that he is a man. So when we are trying to even read some scriptures, they will actually tell you that a man who has been raised properly is a pride of his father. But a man who has been poorly brought up is a disgrace to his father, and the person to be blamed is the mother. So again, when my dear sister here claims that men are this and that, yet I would ask, what are you playing? What role are you playing in raising, assuming your son or nephew, or even the child who is a boy from the neighborhood? So if we sit and say we are going to get equal opportunities simply because women have stepped up to take leadership roles, again, you will quote the scripture. There are scriptures that actually condemn women from standing on the pulpit and preaching to the congregation, and if they have to cover their heads. Look at Margaret Wanjiru. Look at Pastor Mokoro. Look at all these other prominent personalities. Look at Rachel Ruto. She's a prayer warrior. They are prayer warriors. And of course, we have prophetess who've been women in the scriptures. Now, look at Islam. Have you ever seen a woman who's...
No. Wait, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
You know, I like to live in the here and the now.
Yes.
I don't want to live on the rules written by other people.
Yes.
So what I do is, so if you tell me this is the kind of person that you are, I'll take you by your word, and then I'll treat you based on how you are. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll not stop living my life. So if you tell me you're a prophet, I'll be, oh, okay, you're a prophet. That's good for you. That has nothing to do with me. So if you're not a Christian, it would be a bit useless to discuss Christian things, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
So if you're not a Muslim, it would be useless to discuss Islam. So unless you're having a debate where you guys are going to walk away from the debate, you're not going to kill each other. But beyond that debate, the conversation makes no sense. So don't try and pin down people with the religion, because religion is somebody else's idea. It's not our idea. So stick to the here and the now.
Great.
Because the here and the now is, ukweli is, the truth is that the man is unable to handle the woman in the here and the now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you say, even if you try and take them back to the Bible or to the Quran, those relationships are collapsing everywhere.
Yeah, so actually it brings me to the point of, when I'm quoting the scriptures, I'm literally trying to say that I am not a religious guy, but I believe in a supreme being, because that is reason why we are all in existence. But you see the bullshit that we've been fed.
You see now you see again, you got lost in the imagination. Because you're doing well. You're unable to stay with me here because now you went to supreme being. Because umelemewa hapa in real life umelemewa. Now we have to take a supreme being angle and run away with that. No, we're not talking about supreme beings. It's just you and I.
No, I'm actually accepting the fact that I've been corrupted in thinking along those lines. So those yokes of slavery are still...
Because it is somebody else's idea. It is not your idea about a supreme being. You have never sat down to decide about a supreme being. So this supreme being idea is somebody who put that idea in your head.
That's okay, bro. That's fine.
So if that's the case, then you need to rethink how you use that supreme being idea. Because if you do, you better use it for business where you're calling people. The way the politicians do it in church. Haujaona ma politicians wamesimama church anasema hey mwadhani arogoshwo, and this guy is akale mwadhani arogoshwo na mama wanasema agoshwo wana celebrate. Yeah, so he's using it for a purpose. What is your purpose, my friend? Have you discovered whether there's something like a supreme being?
Well, it actually translates again now to a different thing, which is the power of the universe.
Yeah, there we go. Again, we are on the imagination. Yeah, I even muted my mic. Yeah, now the power of the universe now. Eh?
Yes.
So now, why are you afraid of standing by yourself?
No, the thing actually, Kibe.
No. And hold up. I want you to start listening to me. You're not listening to me.
Yeah.
So I'm really struggling with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to struggle with you. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
put your fucking ego down and start listening to the questions.
Uh-huh.
I'm the one who's leading this ship, not you. So don't decide where we are going. So why are you so afraid of standing by yourself?
No, I'm not afraid, actually.
So why do you keep running to other people?
Of course, you would be lost amidst a path and only to be.
Talk about yourself. Talk about yourself, my bro. Stop all these things on all these things you're saying. Of course, you would be lost. Who's you? Talk about I Stephen Oburu Odinga. Sorry, let me get it. Oburu Ogechi. Talk about Stephen. Yes, say I would be lost if I didn't have these people in my life. Yes.
Yeah, I would be. I would be lost. I would be lost if I didn't have a certain direction, only to be led back to the right path. So,
so you cannot stand. So you cannot stand by yourself.
Oh, I can, absolutely. Like I've always stood by myself in many occasions.
But you said you would be lost.
Yeah, you would be lost. You would. I mean,
so you cannot stand by yourself because you would be lost. Hey, don't contradict yourself, Omera.
Check it, keep. So hands up.
So either you are lost or you're not lost, because you are lost is not a good thing, is it?
No, it's not.
So you would be lost if you didn't have all these people around you. So why are you afraid of standing by yourself? Why are you afraid of the dark? Why are you afraid of your own reflection?
Yeah, I mean, it only happens once in a while, but I oblige, bro. I accept
again, there we go. There we go. It only happens to who? I'm talking to you, bro. You see what I'm trying to get? Step hen.
Yes.
Step hen. You see what I'm trying to do to you?
I do. No, you're not, bro.
And you're running away from it. Why are you running away from it? And you know this is important. You know we must do this. I must get you out of your bullshit. You've been trading with this bullshit for too long. That's why you came to defend Kibera.
I'm back.
Captain. Captain. No. Hey, don't tell me when you're back. I'll know when you're back. You just chill. Sit there and receive the beating.
Sorry, bro. The whips.
The whips are coming. So don't stop the whips. You've never been. If you try to stop the whips, you're trying to kill me. Are you trying to kill me, Stephen?
Not at all, sir. Not at all.
Yeah. So understand the question. It's a very nice question because I wish somebody had asked me this question when I was your age. How old are you now?
I'm 38, bro.
Bro, let me tell you. When I went to Stato, when I went to Stato, so just mute your mic. Let me give you this story. I want to deliver it the right way. Okay. So I went to live in this guy's house, and this guy was a full psycho. Full, not half, full psycho. Okay? And then he had a neighbor who was very nice. His neighbor is called Charlie. Charlie is a nice guy, full fiat. This guy is, he's an ex-military guy. So one day Charlie invites me to his house and tells me, come, he has some nice weed. Come, let's smoke up some weed. Andrew calls me Andrew. Andrew, very nice guy. I used to like listening to him. So I go into his house, right across the, this guy's house, right across is that guy's house. So I go into Charlie's house. Charlie is an old guy, so he has all this paraphernalia from from all his lifetime. He's an ex-military guy who has to take another very strong drug called Oxycontin. Oxycontin. Right? So people from America are understanding what I'm saying. Not Oxycontin. So it's a very strong drug. So this guy gives me the weed and he takes the weed. I mean, he takes some for himself and we are just enjoying, and he's put some music from the 70s. I'm enjoying the music. Then Charlie stands up, he takes off his shirt and starts dancing. I'm like, Z, I've seen this movie too many times. All right. So once you take off your shirt and start dancing, as a man, I'm like, I gotta go, I gotta leave. I don't know what's happening in this guy's head. And he's an ex-military guy who walks around with a penknife. I don't know, bro. I don't want to leave this house walking funny. So I tell him, hey, listen, Charlie, this weed is too strong. I have to go sleep. The guy looked me in my eyes. He looked me in my eyes, dead in my eyes. It's never happened to me before. Never. Till today, it's never happened. It never happened. It's never happened. He looked dead in my eyes, bro. He said, why are you so full of shit? Bro, that thing hit me so hard. It hit me so hard. I've never been told the truth like that. That truth was so painful. Because at that moment, I was being full of shit. It hit me so hard. I've never stopped thinking about it. So every time I'm about to be full of shit, I have to ask myself, remember what Charlie told you? Don't be that guy. Don't be full of shit. One lesson. Don't run away from that lesson. As painful as it is, don't run away from the lesson. Because when will you graduate if you never take the test? Bro, that thing dung at me, honey, another style and fashion. Nobody has ever been that brutally honest with me.
Even me, I'm interested in you leaving or not. You haven't told me to
Kwame, we can't hear you. There's something wrong with your mic.
Yeah.
All right,
sorry. I'm interested in the fact whether you left or not, because you've not cleared that for me.
Whether I did what?
After the guy told you don't be full of shit, because you know that.
Oh no. No, bro. Leaving, I was leaving. My paranoia had already gotten the better of me, so it didn't matter what he said. It's just that at that point, I was like, yeah. So it took me a while. I internalized it for a while, bro. I sat there and I was like, yeah, I missed a moment there. I missed a moment to enjoy Charlie. That was Charlie being at his Charliest. But me, I misread the whole thing because of my stupid paranoia. I was unable to enjoy that moment because I was afraid. I was afraid because I thought, oh my God, this guy is going to, what the fuck was I doing? What kind of stupid thoughts are those, Kwame?
Right. Me as a manga, you do you, as long as you don't invade my space, I'm okay with that. Like, you don't lead me.
I mean, stay in the moment. Don't overread the moment. Just stay in the moment. Because that moment is what makes things memorable. Stay in the moment, whatever the moment creates. Now, you see, now me, I left there with a very different lesson because for the first time, somebody told me the truth about myself. Now, if somebody can read you, Stephen, and hold up, comment. So, Stephen, if somebody can read you even for a second, sit there. Because that's to you right now, at that moment, that is the most valuable thing in your life. If I could smell it in you, Stephen, don't fight it. If I could smell it in you, don't fight it. Sit there in that moment and ask yourself, why have I been running? What am I running away from? So that you can stand by yourself. Oh, bro, when you stand by yourself, you'll... And I'm talking about it because I know when I stand for myself, I can feel it. I can feel it. It's a moment. When you're by yourself and you've made the decision, bro, it's almost like coming for a man. It is ridiculous. Like when you tell somebody no, and they were expecting that you would agree with that shit, and you stand by your no, oh, it's orgasmic. Okay. You guys are judging me. Go try it. And then tell no to your child. Tell no to your child. And I don't want you guys to get carried away because this is a very powerful tool that I'm giving you right now. It's very powerful. Don't misuse it. Yeah, because sometimes you need to say yes. Are you going to save me from this burning building? No. I decided to be a no guy in 1998. So don't take me to, literally. Of course, you guys are bomb people. Dr. Mjulus, before Dr. Mjulus goes ahead, Amara, go ahead. Hey, Thick Bay, I saw some. Okay. I was about to kiss Thick Bay's ass. I don't know whether you have a minute, Amara?
Yes, please. Thank you. Can you hear me?
No, I was asking, are you going to give me a minute to kiss Thick Bay's ass, or you want us to go straight into yours?
Okay.
Thick Bay, I saw that poster that was done for you. Ooh, wait, god damn. If I was into Thick Bay, by now I would be huko in Dubai just rescuing you from your boss. Apana iko maliza kazi, wewe iko konda. All right, Amara, I'm done. I'm completely done. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. It's 3 where I am, and I can't believe I'm here all that time because I really enjoy this space. Thank you for everyone. And thank you for this talk. It's a really, really good talk. I thank my daughter. She's the one who recruited me to this space. And she told me, Mom, you will love the space that Kife leads because she knew me and Kife is a no-no. But listening to you, I think I get what you talk about in so many ways. And I'm not a young person. I'm an old person, yes. And I think, I don't know how old Anthony is and the others, but there's, I don't know, I don't want to quote the Bible so much, but there's a quote that says, you have eyes and you don't see, you have ears and you don't hear. If you listen to Kibe, you'll be strong people. Okay, coming to the topic of today, about boy child. Where we got lost is when the campaign started of empowering a girl child, because that was just a scheme to suppress our African men. But people didn't see that. Having lived in the US for some few years, I've seen things that I'm like, what? Because they say that a man comes fifth after a woman, a child, a dog, and something there. And that is where we are going now. Kibe says that we talk on present and about us, not other people. I got married at 17, and my husband was a real man. Like, I used to see like things are like in a movie. I would boil milk, and then my baby will cry. When I go to get the baby, the milk will pour, and he cannot turn off the gas. And it will just isha happen. And then I'll ask, why didn't you turn off the gas? And he'll say, that's not my job. I never bought meat. In fact, I was a full-time mother because he didn't believe that his children would be brought up by house helps. And he was very strict. Everybody knew him as a disciplinarian. In fact, I tell people, I grew up, I didn't have a father. I tell people it's my husband who brought me up. I didn't know my my language like Kikuyu. I used to talk Kiswahili and English, but I'll talk to him in Kiswahili and he'll look at me like this until I struggle to speak in Kikuyu. That is when he will respond. And I thank God because I'm very fluent in my Kikuyu language. He was that strict. My son could not use mafuta on himself. He used to beat him. Why are you applying mafuta on your skin? Mafuta ni ya wanawake. I used to look it in a very different way. I used to think he was mean. People used to say, oh, so and so is ni Hitler. But I really miss that man because may his soul rest in peace. So I wanted to say something. Anthony was trying to say that thing, but I think it's how it came out that maybe did not come out good. A strong man can make a strong woman. It doesn't mean that if you're a strong man, you cannot be with a woman. You can make a strong woman out of you. And I believe that is what my husband did. He never believed that a child can misbehave. If your kid cannot behave, let him not come in our house, and our kid will not go to your house. Okay, to cut the long story short, is I want to go back to my point that when the girl child was empowered, that is where the boy child was suppressed. And where we are at, the man in the society, hiyo ndio kitu watu wanataka kumaliza. And my heart cries for that. Because they have brought alcohol. Hii yote ni ya kumaliza mwanaume. And I really feel bad. And why am I saying that a strong man can build a strong woman? It's because most people cannot. I've found myself in a very tricky situation where people cannot stand me. Not because I'm bad, but I talk and respect men. Like, I cannot stand a weak man.
No, Amara, don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie.
You don't know me. I'm telling, I cannot.
No, don't lie. You can do anything to us, but don't tell us that you respect men. No, that's a lie.
I do. I respect.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie.
If I didn't respect
that's a big lie.
Men, okay. What is respect to you?
That's a very big lie, Amara.
What is respect to you?
You are doing well in my eyes until you started the bullshit, and I was like, oh, I can smell the bullshit. I can smell the bullshit.
I respect a man because I don't believe I can call a man names.
What is a man?
A man is a person who can rule his house. A child cannot misbehave. A woman cannot misbehave. Not when he's
wait. Hold up.
Mm-hmm.
So is a man a husband?
A man is a man. A husband is another institution.
So why did you say a man is one who can rule his own house? What do you mean rule his own house? I don't understand that.
Let me give you an example. I've been in my home. I didn't know that I can buy food. I didn't know that I can buy, especially meat. It looks foolish, but that my husband used to say, how can you buy meat? I don't know if it is another man who bought that meat. Don't bring meat in this house. But nowadays you find that a man will sit down, a woman will bring food, and he will eat comfortably. To me, I don't think that is right.
No, let's talk about your man. Why are you taking us to all men? So your man buys the meat.
He's not there for now because he's late, but that is what he taught me.
Did you kill him? Wait. Did you kill him?
Whatever you will say.
No, hey, hold up. The way this works is me, I ask the questions, you answer.
Yes.
So did you kill him?
How can I kill the father of my kids? I said he brought me up. I am.
Ebu, repeat that question. I mean, repeat that statement. I want all the women around the world to hear what you just said. How can you do what?
Kill the father of my kids. In fact, he brought me up. That is what I said, the first statement I said. And I'm very proud of who I became because I don't think I could have grown up the way he brought me up. He was a man who could stand his ground. He would say,
how much older was he than you?
Oh, he was old. He had other 4 kids, and I brought up those kids very well. We grew up as a family.
How much older was he than you?
He was 17 years older than me. And I cannot stand a weak man. So people think that like I have a lot of ego, but I cannot stand someone who cannot tell me, like a man who waits for me to tell him do this, do that.
Like someone who cannot tell you shut the fuck up.
Exactly. I don't like to feel powerful more than a man. I like someone.
There we go.
Yes.
So all that you told us earlier was just a lie. What you want, what you want is what Anthony has been talking about here the whole day. Anthony said this. Listen to what Anthony said. This married man. So Anthony said that women run away from strong men. You think that's true?
No.
Can you correct your brother from Kirinyaga here? Correct him quickly.
Anthony, we don't run from strong men. You have to stand firm. You have to, your no is your no. You don't entertain. But it doesn't mean like, okay, I don't advocate on like physical beating a woman, but like, let me give you an example. There was a time I took my husband's jacket and I put on. He told me, can you remove that? That is not your, like, and it sank into my head. There's boundaries, respect. And that one is where that is where I say Anthony did not say that being with a wife is a bad thing. No, your kids can also take after their father being strong. I'm very proud of my son because I can see how he's raising his kids, and you can see the discipline. And when you see the other kids, you cannot stand. Like you cannot be in an environment where there's no discipline. People think you are different in a bad way, but it is what was put in you. So I can say that being a strong man will make a family, but that is what is being finished because an African man is a strong man. Okay. Also, even there's a teacher who was talking, and I would just kindly ask Kibe, this forum is a very important forum, and I can see in this space, people are really different from other spaces. They are talking sense, they are talking things that can build people. If only we can have a day where people are bringing their input, like Hannah was talking, another lady also was talking about, many people talked about different things that can help people come from where they are, because the way people are brought up, if your dad was weak, I didn't know that men eat rice. Najua ni githeri, njahe, ugali, it makes them strong. Nowadays, after these guys, our sons and these young people, they I don't know if it is somebody said something about under the belt can keep a woman. I can say It can be or not, it depends. But even the generation now, they cannot even perform. Na yote imeletwa ili tumalizwe. They cannot even perform. Those days, I don't know if it is rated over 18, but as Andrew says that come or whatever, nowadays they fire ni kama mate. Ya zamani ilikuwa cream. Why? Because of the food that people are eating. Na zamani mzazi atakwambia hiyo si chakula ya That is why you used to unapata wazee walikuwa wanasema hii chakula ndio wanaume, hii ndio ya wamama.
Ya zamani ilikuwa aje?
Ati cream, kuna cream na kuna mate.
Cream de la creme. Siku hizi ni maji.
Exactly.
Watu wa Australia wanasikia hiyo. Haya, sawa. Continue. You're on the right track.
So ni mali pengi, ni food, ni shule, everywhere. Somebody said about how the schools, it's like brainwash. Unakuta, even in sports, we don't have swimmers. I don't think kuna watu wanajua kuswim kama Afrika. I was seeing somewhere, I think in Turkana or Nyahururu, watu wanatoka juu wanaingia huko chini. Unataka kuniambia mzungu anaweza fanya hivyo? Haezi. But look, corruption imekuja, people go hapo Nyahururu kulipa 20 bob, waona huyo mtu akifanya hivyo, but kuna mtu anafaa kutoa watu hapo awapeleke Kasarani kufanya exercise and whatever lessons so that they can go and get the medals. But ni nani anamaliza hao vijana? Ni sisi tu. So I think I believe in the real African man ndiye anamalizwa, and we have to come back. And I think our generation, that was the last mahali wanaume waliishia, kwa sababu hapo ndio pombe imekujia. Unakuta mtu anakaa kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni kwa pombe, akuje home and then you find food, you don't know where it came from. There's nyama, you cannot even ask where it came from. And tomorrow the same thing. Mi sikujua a woman can sleep mbele ya bed. Nani uruke bwana? How? Wewe ni kwa ukuta. Because the man, mlango ikiguzwa ni anaruka. Nowadays, mlango ikiguzwa, kijana anaenda chini ya bed. So I think sometimes people will hear like Kibe is when Kibe is pushing you, Anthony, there's something he wants you to get. Push. Don't give up. Usichukue mikono juu ati juu Kibe amekupiga nyahunyo. There's something he wants you to get. And I think you will learn by the time as it goes. But I advocate for that man. So Kibe ukisema ati ninadanganya, mimi nimekuwa hapo. And let me tell you now, the disadvantage of being like having a strong man. When you go out there, you cannot even find a man for yourself because there are things you cannot stand. You cannot stand a weak man. Because when you want him to stand up strong, unakuta wewe ndio uko hapo. So by the time mnasikizana nini, anafikiria uko na ego, but you want him to be a man, lakini hakui, hasimami mahali anafaa. Like now, where we are headed to, you've started hearing people say, oh, I have a fur baby, I don't know what. Sio ni wazungu wanafanya. Fur baby. Ay. Next time, huyo fur baby ndiye atakuwa bwana. Lazima tukatae hiyo kitu. Lazima. We have to. Tunafaa kukataa. So, let us teach our kids to stand for themselves, especially the boy child. Wanamalizwa. Let us give them the right food sio spaghetti, macaroni, in our affect even their thinking. Me, I've been in this country for, I think, sio miaka mingi, but I don't think I've ever eaten macaroni na hizo vitu. Mi nakulaga ile chakula I used to eat home. Not because of anything, but how. I cannot even change. People say, oh, it's a culture shock gun. I know what I want. My kids cook at home. They don't eat outside. That is what we train them. So we start in our homes, then it can go out. But also, we have to encourage Kina Anthony. You are doing good where you are. You are in the right place with Kife. Kife will train you to be hard,
You see,
and
Amara,
strong.
me and Kibe,
Yes.
Kibe believes a man should be single. I don't. Me and Kibe, we
Uh-huh.
agree on everything. Like you see the way you've spoken.
Yes.
You are saying the same things. Me, I was brought up largely by my grandparents. Tunasema ati mwanamke hafai kununua nyama. I was taught the same thing. My wife has never bought meat. You see the way you are saying, my wife knows me, you can't cook me spaghetti. Me, I eat mukimo, njahi, ugali. Those are my food. But what I wanted to tell people is, in the old days, as those men brought up men, women taught those women how to submit to those strong men. So today, Kibe will bring up strong men. But if women don't do the same and teach women how to be women, then those strong men will have no women to marry. So there will be no procreation. From a very thin field. Okay?
Yes. And what you are saying.
So when Kibe was saying, when Kibe was telling me you remember you said that your friends will call your husband a dictator. Did I say the same thing?
Yes.
It's what the friends to my wife call her. They say, hey, Tony's a dictator. I'm like, I'm not a dictator. The reason she's with me is because she knows what I stand for. Okay? But what I'm saying is simple. As you bring strong men, those men will need to procreate. Otherwise, you'll have strong men with no children. You didn't leave your husband. He was not a weak man. You stayed with him because he was a strong man.
And I was attracted to him because of that.
Now, that's the same reason my wife is attracted to me.
Yes. And also, there's something that I've realized. The way you are saying we bring up our girls. I have girls, and I know Kibe will jump. They respect men because their father taught them how to respect men. And the other day, my girl told me, because I was like, she told me, Mom, I want a husband like my dad. And I really laughed because she cannot stand a man who is weak. And you see, people will say, oh, she has an ego, ni mtu hawezi. But sometimes you cannot even stand someone who is weak. And anyway, this is a long topic that needs a lot of input. Because it doesn't mean when you submit, I don't know if it is the wording or how it comes out that people take it negatively. But the point is when the man in society is weak, we don't have like a family, we don't have like a country, because everything comes down. There was somebody who talked about Wango wa Makeri. Why did Wango wa Makeri become powerful? It's not that he disrespected men. The men did not fight the way they were supposed to fight. And she came out and said, if you're not going to fight, give us your trousers and we'll put on and fight. That is why she became powerful. It's because he saw something that men were not doing that was right, because she was an empowered woman by Makeri. So she was not at Kichwa Ngumu. She was strong because Makeri made her strong.
Yo, Mara, can I interject and just speak on what you just talked about? So you're talking about some really solid points, like fathers back in the days used to instill respect, lately women are fucking up the respect that men are supposed to have. And honestly, honestly speaking, I feel like it's the women, this late generation of women are the reason why the men are the way they are. Like, from the single mothers dropping down to bitch men who just follow what the women say and listen to what the women say and get influenced by the women to bring their ego down and bring their kind of like their masculinity, bring it down and let the woman be the king. So honestly, like, I feel like a lady, no offense to you, but a lady or a woman cannot give men a solution to what has been created by the women. Because as you were talking about, the men back in the days used to get it right. They used to be the head of the family. They used to talk and you listen. They used to, when they walk past you, like when they walk past you, you can't act in a certain way. And that was just all because of like social conditioning. And we, or like early in the days, we were used to that. But lately, the women have influenced the men and then just changed the whole, like the evolution has just been evident. Like evolution has just been like there, we can see it. And women, with their emotional reaction to everything, has like they have made the men super emotional. And this is mainly single parent or men who allow women to be the leader in their life. So what I'm just going down to is, if we are gonna get a solution to what is happening, we need to hear it from a guy or a man or someone who has been in that position. And what I say that is like a lady who's been with a man who has been the head of the family for a while, or for all her life, or all that she knows is the man is the head of the family. But we cannot get this solution from the women that we have right now, because all you guys focus about is just in kind of like just getting attention and getting approval and forcing people to feel sorry for you, or forcing people to be pitiful for you, or just doing anything possible to just make anyone who's listening to you be on your side of the whole story. So honestly, like, I feel like you just need to just drop and just listen to people talk about some solutions, instead of just telling us what was and what changed and who changed it, because it's just the women who are just doing all of this and causing all of this mess. And when men try and fix it, it's like, no, let's focus on the women's rights. So yeah, sorry, I'm just spiraling down. But yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you, Amara.
Why are you succumbing to women? Why are you letting women like?
Because this life is just like who, how many genders do we have in this
You
in
should
this
fight
world? Or
hard.
like,
You should like
so
something.
I'm
There's
not
something
talking
that.
about me
No, we are just
personally. Me, I've
no
listened to what. Go ahead.
like there's something I wanted to touch on, like the circumcision. Our boys used to be empowered during circumcision. Look what is going on. They've taken it in a church way. What are they being taught in the church?
And who is the main party that goes to the church, or who is the main party that influences, or like who is the main party that listens to what the church has to say?
Why have
Is
you
it not
let
the women?
them listen? Why you
So
as
that is
a
what I'm
man?
So
saying.
God's will, why have you usurped your manhood to the church?
Exactly.
God's
So
will.
the
That's let me
women are
ask you
the
that
ones
question.
who are pulling this
Why are
big
you letting
triggers.
women take? Like,
So that is the problem. That is what the problem is. That is what the problem is. So when you
okay,
say
if you
that,
have a son, you should
Mhm.
know where you should take yours. Because I remember when my son was like in class 7, he was very eager to go for circumcision because the father used to tell him, nataka ukuwe mwanaume wewe. Mwanaume si wa
And
kulia.
then
Okay, people say, oh, a man, that is like, I don't know how they put it, but they say, oh, when you tell a man, si wa kulia, that is not good because a man should cry. Me, I
no,
didn't know that.
finish your experience about your son's circumcision. Did
Yeah,
he
he used
go
to,
through with it?
he used to tell him, nataka ukuwe mwanaume. So he was so eager.
Mhm.
Kukua hii mwanaume ni nini when I be circumcised. kwa sababu that time he was like alikuwa nataka kujua ikuwa mwanaume ni kukuwa nini. Ikuwa
Exactly.
Yes. So but now nani anawaambia hivyo?
To the church, like you said. Like
And why
from
are you letting your son to be taken there? And who is talking
takes
to
the son
them?
to the church? From my experience, my mom, ever since I can remember, I went to Sunday school. I'm a Catholic. I was a Catholic. I went to Sunday school. I went to the thingy where you go to classes before you eat the sacrament. I did that. Catechism, exactly. I did all of that because my mom told me you have to do this. This is what we do. We are Catholics. You feel me? But then from what you're saying or from your story, it's like your husband or the father was the one who was pushing your son towards being a man. But you haven't told me anything about you or your point of view. What you're saying is the church, and from what I know is women are the main influence in the church. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but remember, this thing is being brought so that the boy child should like amalizwe. Kwa sababu when they use, okay, I grew up in Rift Valley, uko kwa Wakale. We used to go to something called like those ceremonies, and the guys will be in the forest for a whole month. Wanafunzwa nini? How to live with your wife, vile utakaa kama mwanaume, all those things. Why are they making sure that those things zinaisha?
Like you said, it's the church, Amara. Like the problem is men are becoming pussies.
Okay, I don't think it is the church.
So Amara, a minute. Amara, God's will.
What's up?
Let me ask you a question. Now that you've identified it's the church, what are you
doing?
So personally, I am trying to figure out my life from an outside point of view and not from my point of view. You see, like, because I was taught, I went to high school in Kenya. I was raised Catholic, single parent by my mom. You see, and I came to the States after high school, which was 8 years ago, and up to the point where I came to the States, I was just wired to respect authority. Don't question, don't blah blah blah. But then from when I got here, I saw there's a different way of doing things in life. So personally, what I'm doing is I'm not going through the traditional way. Like I used to send money to my family every month. Kibe called it black tax. And I brought it up out here, and we had a chat, and I was told, you know what, my guy, they're taking advantage of you. Like your mom was supposed to do whatever she did to get you to where you are. So right now, as a man, you're supposed to now take control and do that. So I cut the black tax, and it's like, if you have an issue, let me know what's happening. Let's know how we're gonna fix it. Look for solutions, but not just handing out money. So I'm not following the Bible. I'm not following my elders, because like the whole saying of wahenga and elderly people knowing a lot and younger people knowing less is outdated right now, because now we have technology, we have all this social media on the palm.
So God's will. Let me ask you a question. Are you married or are you dating?
I was in a 3-year relationship and I got out of that shit like a year ago.
Why?
Because
if you want to talk,
I don't want to be. I don't know. You know what? She was supposed to help me get my papers, but it did not go through because she was like, "Oh, my parents," and "Oh, I don't know if I can go through with this." And she was not decided, and I was like, it's either I have my papers straight or I get kicked out. So I was like, I was at a position where it's like, yo, are we doing this or not? I don't have time to baby around and he was like, after 3 years, after telling me like, yes, I got you. I'm not gonna let them do shit to you. I'm gonna make sure you're good. And then 3 years down the road, she's like, oh, can we talk about that situation? I don't think I can do it because my friends are telling me this.
So, was she a means to an end for you?
Was she a what?
A means to an end.
Can you expand on that? What do you mean a means to an end?
When I say a means to an end, I mean her purpose stopped being purposeful because she couldn't help you get legal documents, right?
Okay, so what she was to me, this is my interpretation of what she was to me. I feel like I was puny. Like, I feel like the reason, the fact that she was gonna help me get my papers covered or like closed my eyes to see that, like, yo, I'm a man. Like, I'm not supposed to be taking all this puny shit. Like she would hang out with her male best friends for a long time, but when I bring it up, she's like, yo, you don't trust me anymore, like, let's break up. And it's like, yo, we can't break up. Like, I cannot start figuring out another way.
And you
I
tolerated
did.
that for 3
I did.
years?
Yes, I did. Mind you,
Then you're in the right
I
place.
was.
Because if you're in this space from before, you'd not have done it for 3
So
years.
after, I'm telling you, this happened like a year ago or like a year and a half. That's when I like cut it up, and that's when I picked up listening to this podcast. So it just happened concurrently. Actually, it was in 2022, if I'm not wrong. End of 2022, that's when we broke up. And I started listening to Kibe, and I started like putting my life together, and I started like writing down what needs to be done, or because I recently realized that everyone has their own opinion to everything. You are seen by everyone else in a different way. Like, everyone has their own perception of you in their own mind. So listening to this podcast fucking opened my mind to just not please everyone and just do me and let them see me the way they want to see me, but fuck them. You feel me? So I was puny for 3 years, but I cut that shit off.
This is what I'll tell you, guys.
Go ahead.
I think the moment you realize the power you have in terms of influence, you realize that the right people fall into your life. They align with you. You know, people collapse into your alignment. And that's what leadership is. For me, and I'll always go there, I don't believe anyone can bring out the best in my kids, my wife, than me. Okay? That's how committed I am. That's how much belief I have.
But you see, Anthony, God will didn't have Africa. So what he needs is a mentor, not only one, but many mentors. Mentor of men who are going to surround him and who are going to show him how to be a man.
And Hannah, just to piggyback on what you just talked about.
Hannah, just mute you, man.
Hannah, just to piggyback on what you talked about. I had my mom's example. That's all I knew. And when I was growing up, we were not doing well financially. Like, my mom was a teacher. We lived in a 1-bedroom house. I had 4 siblings, but they all left. They were in like high school, college, and while I was growing up. But she was at the position in life where she was just hustling. Like, she was just humble. She was accepting every, like, she would take any bullshit just to move on and be like, you know what, I let God handle that. So that's how I was raised. Like, I didn't see any strong, influential, or like, I didn't see someone who I can emulate or like I want to be like. But not until I came out here and I started living with my brother, who put me onto the path that I am right now. So from my experience, the women in my life have always been emotional, have always been trying to just do what pleases them or do what is necessary at that point, but not looking at the bigger picture. And like my brother now, I saw him do it. I saw his career working out, and I was like, you know what? I want to be like him. Like, I'm gonna bust my ass and just get to where he is, because he's my brother. Like, I can see it every day. I see what he's doing. It's not like a far-fetched idea. So Hannah, what you said is just so accurate, and that's why I'm telling Amara, it's like, when the men are in the picture and when the men are in control, I feel like this will not be the end result of the kids. But when the women are in control, I feel like it just ends up being a mess. I've seen it. We've seen it. But yeah.
Yeah. You will be there. You will be there. Now that you have realized, you will be there, and don't give up. I like.
You know what, Amara? I'm here. I'm not gonna talk about the future anymore.
I mean, you'll be that you want, that man.
Amen.
Yeah. So yeah. Another thing is, I just wanted to say that as a strong man, you can also make your daughter be strong. And being strong is not to be disrespectful. You can teach your wife or your girls to stand, because let's say kuna ile kufinyilia mwanamke, you cannot talk, you cannot do this. What the father of my kids did, he empowered me in a very different in a different way. Like, you have to stand for the truth. That one, kama unafinyiliwa, you have, even our daughters, hata kwa shule. There was a time there was a strike in school, and my daughter, you know the way teachers watasema, wata ulikuwa hapa, come here, come. They will tell you to name who was there, and my daughter stood firm and said, I did not do it, I was not there. Because she knew if she participated in such a thing, the father will not spare. But she stood firm, and she was being tortured every day. Anaenda kulalisha to kneel down kwa parade every day. She had to call home, and the phone ilikuwa kwa staff room, and she said, Dad, I want you to come to school because I think wananifinyilia. Mimi sikuwa kwa hiyo. And the teachers were like, oh, you're calling your dad? She said, yes, let him come, tell him nilikuwa wapi, ni nani aliniona. And you know, the principal had to tell the father, you know, we have to know who did this. But he empowered the girls also in one way or another. And one thing to empower the girl is, you have, this is your position, this is the man's position. Si lazima ufinyiliwe ndio ujulikane wewe ni mwanamke. Bora you stand the right place, your right place, you also will empower your kids. Because
Hey, Amaro, I have a question.
Yes.
This is to you or anyone else who is can relate to this. So I recently visited Kenya, I think in April, and I was hanging out with this lady who was Kikuyu, and we were just having this like red pill conversations, just throwing out ideas and just getting to listen to what she has to say about all of this. And surprisingly enough, like, she told me that most of the women, Kikuyu moms or aunts or grandmas or Kikuyu elderly ladies, usually teach their daughters how to handle themselves after divorce, or how to handle life after divorce. I don't know if that is true, but that got me thinking that, like, yo, if the parents are teaching their kids this, then how are we gonna fix this problem if the women, you know what, let me just stop you right there, and let's.
I get you, Godfrey. And it goes back to what I was saying. If you raise strong men, then women equally need to bring up women who know how to handle strong men. Are you getting?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will have strong men with no ability, or with no women who should. And that's what used to happen in the olden days when you say we had strong men. As men were being taught to be men, women were being taught how to be women. And let me tell you one thing, a very small example. So the other day, as the girls were doing the dishes, my plate broke. So I was at work. When I got home, my two daughters ran to me and told me, Dad, we want to tell you something. I was like, well, what's up? Tell me, we're so sorry, but when we were doing the dishes, we broke your plate. I was like, okay, now go to the cupboard and pick a plate that you see is mine. Do you know what they did? They got me the best plate in that cupboard. Actually, it was the plate my daughter was given in school and she became position 1. They were like, Dad, this will be your plate and we are sorry. So it means they understand that, this is our father, he's at the top. Are you getting? I'm just not anybody to them. I am the leader of that house.
Gotcha.
And that leader is served in a specific way. And sorry, God will, as you say, and it's true, people are not noticing this, but we have women who are being taught how to escape rather than how to maintain, how to stay. But I'll let someone else speak. I see we have, unless Amara wants to say something, but you can give
Yeah,
engineer
let
and
me just say something, then
Case
I
and
can
Tina.
sleep. There's this thing that you would want a woman to submit. You'd want a woman to do things for you. But what are you doing? How are you empowering her? Like, I'll talk about myself. My husband used to provide from salt, kila kitu, everything. My work was to cook, raise kids. Okay, it can sound like it's not good, but I don't think even he knew how to put toothpaste or toothbrush. That is how we were. That was my department. And because he used to provide everything, pay school fees, hospital, everything, why would I not do all those things? Why would I not do those things? I'll do everything. So sometimes also, you as a man, you cannot expect, as Kive is saying, he will submit to the boss you will submit to the boss in the office. Why? Because that boss is giving you the money, the salary that I will feed my children and my husband. And then you want me to come home and submit. I don't think it can work that way. So Kife, also empower these men waambie pia to be. You can say women don't submit, but you wake up early, unawacha mtu kwa kitanda, umepika, umefunika hapo chakula, amuke akule, aende abangaize huko, then wewe ukuje jioni. It cannot work like that. So as much as you want us to
Amara,
submit,
Question.
sorry, I was gonna say, Amara, I also feel like what you had, or what you still have, I hope you still have it, what you had going on is a great environment for kids to grow up in. And I say that from what I've seen in the traditional, or like back in the days how it used to be done. But talking about like even your boss submitting to your boss, I have a different experience where my boss is a close friend. Not like I tell him what I am doing my personal time, but he is more of, you know what, God's will, like your life is more important than work. So it's like my relationship with my boss is not as risky or like as stressful as my relationship with my high school teachers, or like relationship with like my elders back in Kenya. So back to what you were saying, it's like the background, or how someone, or like the experiences someone sees in their life is what kind of like pushes them to be who they are eventually. But yeah, I'll pass it to someone else. Sorry.
I agree with you. You can be a strong man, but you end up like the society or the environment will turn you to be something else. And I don't know how to put it, but the world has really changed, because there are many people who have been strong, but they end up, weak.
You know what, Amara? Let me just say let me talk about one experience, and leave it for someone else. But I have, talking about what you were saying, about like experiences and how it shapes people to who they are. So my mom recently passed away couple of months ago, but when she was alive, she told me that my brothers, or like my one of my eldest brother, told her that I would not amount to shit. You feel me? And that changed my whole perspective about him. Like, I used to respect him like crazy. I used to. This one time he told me to lay down. He wants to whoop my ass, and 19 years old or 20 years old. And I did. I laid down and I was like, you know what? All right, cool. I respect you. Sorry, do what you want to do. That's how much I was submissive to him. But after I heard what he told my mom, I had his perspective or his like perspective of me from my mom. It was like, you know what? I'm not gonna show. I'm not gonna put as much effort as I used to do in this relationship of ours. I'm just gonna do me, and I cut off the whole family. Oh, you have to be there for family, or you have to respect family, or family comes first. I've been focusing on me now. So that's another example that I wanted to like throw out there. Family is not gonna be your first fan.
Yeah, but that doesn't have to make you change who you are because, like Kife was saying, you don't have to defend someone or you don't have, like, you have to be you. You don't have to even care what other people are saying. You don't even have to put it in your head that they said this or that. You don't even have to hate them. Just do you and let them say, oh, we thought you will not amount to anything. It is you. Don't let that even make you not sleep. In fact, that should be your motivation. Because if
To my
you
difference, that was my motivation. Up to that point, I was puny and I was letting my whole family decide my next move. I turned 18 when I was
So,
here, and they were telling me, "Oh, you're not an adult until you turn 21 out here." So I was just,
Godwin, let me ask, are you the last one?
yeah, I am the last one. Yeah.
So, your elder brothers, your dad was in their life for a chunk of their life, right?
Yes. So my brothers, the next sibling or the next brother that I follow is 20 years older than me. So my
Okay.
dad was in their
So
life
they
Go ahead.
good. So now what they are what, and now I get you. So one of the I'll say you are the closest to your mom. Like your mom loved you dearly, right?
Yes.
You're the favorite.
Yes.
Like now, see, the reason your mom was like that, and I think the reason she told you what she told you when she I think she could feel her time is almost,
Uh-huh.
and she wanted. How do I put it? She wanted the man in you, that what Kibe calls the beast in you. She wanted to ignite it before she goes. Okay? Because she had that information, but she took a specific time to tell it to you. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, what you're supposed to take from that is one, she acknowledges that she didn't have the tools to convert you to make the man in you,
Uh-huh.
because she's a woman. Number two, your brothers tried, but they used brute force.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Being a man is not brute force. It is balanced. It's tapered. Okay?
Gotcha.
You know when to apply maximum, and when you know this wants intellectual conversation, and this is necessary for a whooping. Now, what I'll tell you is what Amara is telling you right now. Anger can give you two things. It can be a positive energy to make you ultimately want to succeed. And that is how you should look at it. So I wouldn't say don't talk to them, but deep down know my destiny is in on my hands. I hold my destiny in my hands. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Now use that to be the best version of yourself. Not of anyone else.
Facts.
Of you.
You know
get
what?
me?
You know what, Anthony? I don't know how this changed to be my life discussion, but let me just wrap it up by saying I feel like it takes too much energy and strength and effort to be mad at someone. So I learned that instead of being mad, instead of wasting my energy, memory time being mad at someone, I'll just move on and just interact with them like nothing happened. So that's how I am with my brothers. It's like, yo, if you guys talk bad about me behind my back and I hear it, I'm not gonna let that shit get into my heart. It used to fucking kill me. Like I used to be like, yo, you guys are my first family. Like, how can you guys say that all I do is just go clubbing and not be serious in life, and I'm not gonna amount to shit. I'm gonna go back to Kenya being broke. I'm gonna work in McDonald's all my life. But then after I got my job, after I finished college, I was like, I'm the one who did all of this. And from seeing that, it just gave me all the motivation and the push that I needed to be who, or be where I am right now, and proceed to where I see myself in like 5 years. But yeah, I agree with all of you for sure.
Yes,
Cool.
yes, and
Let's bring in
don't.
Amara. Want to say something?
Yeah, I would like to encourage you and tell you, like, real men don't listen. Like, people are saying this about, they don't even know that there's Mushene, or people are talking about me. Just like Kife was saying about going to a space that he wanted to really prove. I really laughed when he said he just realized Maramoja. What am I doing here? Am I even supposed to be here? Because these people are just talking shit. Like, you don't have to listen to what people, you don't even know it exists. Just do what is right for you, what is good for you. And I really feel sad because I know there's a generation that will really, really get lost. Because, like, when you see
Sorry, am I the only one who lost?
No.
I also lost.
Um,
I thought I was the only one. Also lost. So anyway, go to just stay as she comes back. There was a guy here, engineer.
Can I say something?
Jemedari.
yeah, thank you.
Or who? Dr. Mujulis.
Yeah, so the name is Jemedari. So thank you for giving me the time. So I joined a bit late, but nimesikia vile wasa walikuwa naongea like especially for men. Like if you're gonna choose, if you're gonna live a life, I believe that you should do what you feel is right, what you care about. You should do it no matter what anybody else thinks. So it doesn't matter what your mom thinks, it doesn't matter what your dad thinks, it doesn't matter what your brother thinks. Fuck your wife, fuck everyone. If you care about something, like you should be able to stand your ground and do that thing. Because me personally, also, I had someone here that he's the last born of the family, and yeah. So personally, I'm also the last born, but at some point, it reaches a time you just realize that like family ain't shit. Family ain't shit. It reaches a point, like as a man, you realize some things they really don't matter, like as you thought they do in life. Because like family, like you like some friends are better than family in terms of supporting you, in terms of giving you advice. So like personally, I also have an elder brother. Yeah, I'm the last one also. But the way things are going in life, like when I was younger, he was like, like the guy of the house, because my dad passed. So he was like the man of the house, and I was just like the last born kid. But as time went by, I leveled up. I got my money together. I got my shit together. And now at this point, I'm at a point like where I'm even kind of better than him. I'm getting more money than him, and he usually feels some type of way. So it just reaches a point that you just say, "Fuck this shit. You go do you. Me, I'ma do me. Me, I'ma keep on leveling up." Because as an elder brother, you expect that these men, the older men, to guide the younger men into like maybe financially or just getting your shit together, shit about women. And that's why Andrew Kibe actually is a big hit actually in Kenya, because the elder generation, they don't know or they're not passing the game down to the younger generation in the proper way. So me as a
See,
yeah.
Anthony,
no, go on.
Yes, I was saying like me as a young guy, I'm about 28 right now, so I'm just getting my shit together. I'm getting my life together, and I'm realizing some of these things they don't really mean anything. Because even for women, okay, the way guys handle women nowadays, it's like either they're optionless or they just don't know how the game works. Because you can't tell me that I heard about.
But Jemedari, when I listen to you and I listen to God's will, do you realize how important it is to have a proper man in the life of the children, both girls and boys?
100%. But what do you do in a case where the father is absent, either it's a deadbeat or he's passed on? So the kid
Yo,
will just have to.
Jemeda, Anthony,
Yeah.
that's actually what I wanted to talk about. It's like, at what age or at what point in a kid's life does he become a man? Or at what point or what age in a kid's life is he supposed to be like, I'm not a kid anymore? I'm not supposed to listen, because our culture in Kenya is, you either listen to what I'm saying, you either get an A, or I beat your ass, or I expel you, or so we have a
Yeah.
repercussion, and it's a serious repercussion if you don't do what the elders, or like what the elderly say. So
Yeah.
at what
So
point in a Kenyan kid's life who is from a single parent who doesn't have a fatherly figure does he decide, okay, I'm going to stop listening to what I'm being told by all these elderly people in my life
I actually
and
have an
start?
answer for that. I actually think I have an answer for that. So me
Go
personally,
for it.
what can I say? What I can say is that it starts the moment you decide yourself that I'm gonna put myself first. Fuck everyone else. You got to put yourself first. You got to get your shit together,
But
and it
he's
starts at that
asking
point.
at what point?
Exactly.
Yeah,
When
exactly.
is that point?
At what age?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly
Where's
at
that?
the age. Some people become men when they're 15 because they decided like they're gonna put themselves first and they're gonna build their shit. Nobody what anybody else says. So you see, some people mature at 15, some people mature at 35. It depends at that point when at the point you say that I'm gonna put myself